Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. Today I'm going to be talking about another thing like Goosebumps. Now, this is actually the last Halloween book you're going to get for 2019 from me. Mainly because I started this before the end of October, and of course it's November 2nd as you watch this, more than likely, if you happen to be tuning in the day it's uploaded anyway. And I finally read another Halloween-type book, just because I wanted something special to read. And this was very short. This is 100 pages long, and I thought it was something kind of cool. It is from the R.L. Stine's Ghosts of Fear Street series. It's called Halloween Bugs Me. The only thing I finally found out from somebody who commented on the only other, at this current moment, Ghosts of Fear Street particular book review that I've done in the past, for Hide and Shriek, the first book of that series ever. When you turn to the copyright pages on the inside of these, you actually find out that R.L. Stine did not write these. This particular series is written by different authors, kind of like the Point Horror series that R.L. Stine used to write back in the day. Which this whole idea kind of started that whole rumor that maybe a lot of the Goosebumps series are written by different authors as well, which sometimes I can kind of see that possibly being the truth, frankly. This particular book was written by Barbara Joyce, and I'm going to tell you flat out, Halloween Bugs Me was really good. I mean, really, really good. I really recommend this book if you can manage to get your hands on it. It's not a really rare book by any means, at least at this current moment. I got mine on Amazon for like $5, and it came from Thrift Books, according to the little sticker on the side of the spine. But I like the cover a lot. I think it's a very Halloween-y type book. It doesn't do as good of a job as something like Goosebumps, for example, about the Haunted Mask 1 or 2. About capturing Halloween as a feeling, or the feeling of fall, or just trick-or-treating. That whole essence of Halloween is not captured as well here, but I do like the story a lot. I think there's a lot that happens here that's really fun. Just a fun overall story that just keeps getting more and more wild. If you like the insanity of the Monster Blood books from Goosebumps, I think you'd love this. I think this book in general is just a fun, random story to read. If you're a big Goosebumps fan, I think you'd really like this particular book. Not so much Hide and Shriek. I think Hide and Shriek is overall a pretty good book, the first of this Ghosts of Fear Street series. This is book number 25, by the way. I really like Halloween Bugs Me. I think it actually works a lot better for people who are fans of Goosebumps like myself. It feels much more in that area, like that kind of feeling of the storytelling and everything else. For anybody who doesn't know what the story is about, which more than likely you probably don't, I don't think I've ever heard somebody even mention this book before. Essentially, it's Halloween, or at least the day or two before, and our main character is actually kind of concerned with always just trying to outdo this other guy that's always mean to him. There's this other guy that's considered the luckiest guy in the world, and every time that our main character does something, this guy does either double or better, basically. What it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is, that guy always doubles what our main character does, and it really bums him out. He tries his best constantly to outdo this guy in class, and he can't seem to really get a grip on what to do or how to beat the guy. Well, it comes to Halloween night, and on this particular Halloween, they've had a debate on who's going to have the most candy, and of course, our main character is not really doing too well. He decides with his best friend, Liv, that they're going to go over to a neighborhood called Shadyside, which of course is in Fear Street, or has a Fear Street within it, a street literally called Fear Street. And so they go trick-or-treating through this neighborhood, but apparently there's no streetlights for whatever reason. These streetlights don't work, even though it's pitch black outside. So they kind of go from house to house, and they actually start off at the first house in this neighborhood with a really creepy guy that answers the door, but then he also brings them inside, and then an elderly lady that may or may not be some kind of witch puts a curse on a certain candy bag that she gives back to our main character and tells him to go get some trick-or-treating candy that he already had kind of gotten a little bit, but go ahead and take this back to your little friend you're trying to outdo in class, and you'll outdo him. And our main character's like, that's not even possible. It's already too late. You know, there's not enough houses to keep going trick-or-treating because it's already too late. And the woman just kind of tells him, like, just shut up and do it, you know? So when he and the other guy from his class that he can't stand end up trying to measure out who has the most candy, it turns out our main character, even though he went to way, way, way few houses, he has tons and tons, truckloads more than what the other guy from his class that he can't stand, named Derek, by the way. He has way more than what Derek has, even though Derek always outdoes him. And Derek can't handle the fact that our main character's outdone him for once. And so it kind of becomes weird. Like, how did this candy thing happen? How did our main character, Greg, end up getting more candy than Derek did? For whatever reason. Is it something to do with the bag? And apparently it is. Now you might wonder, how does the title Halloween Bugs Me with the cockroaches and the pumpkin and stuff, how does that come into play at any point in the story? I will tell you, it does. It's not one of those trick out things, a fake out like what happens with Goosebumps sometimes, where you get a cover that'll say like "Son of Slappy" and then the book has nothing to do with that at all, or the picture that's on the cover for that matter. Everything in this book was really fun, including the bugs portion to it when you get there eventually. Again, it's 100 pages long, so the whole book flies by. The whole idea of this candy bag being cursed, I guess you could call it cursed, but being able to, every time you put something in it, it makes 10 multiples of that. It's fascinating as an idea. It's utilized so well. At first I was a little concerned that maybe it wasn't going to be that good. You know, a lot of these Ghosts of Fear Street books, to me personally, I've liked both books, Hide and Shriek and Halloween Bugs Me, that I've read so far out of the 32 or so that exist from the Ghosts of Fear Street series. I have to tell you though, a lot of the time, these books sound to me, from the stories that are written on the back, like they're not going to be that great. Like they're going to be more of like a knockoff of Goosebumps. And in some way, I guess there's a little bit of an argument that you could say that's what the case is with these, since R.L. Stine does not technically write these. I don't know if he writes an outline and somebody else writes them, or if somebody else, like in this case, Barbara Joyce, writes the entire thing. I'm not really sure. But I do like this book a lot. I actually like this one more than Hide and Shriek, even though I like the concept for Hide and Shriek a little bit more. I think this one's better executed. I think this one has a lot more humor to it. Again, if you're a Goosebumps fan, this book's going to be right up your alley. You're going to love this book. It's really fun. It's very enjoyable. A really cool, decent Halloween-type story. This whole premise of this bag, being able to multiply things that get put inside of it, is a really cool concept that's utilized pretty brilliantly, honestly. I had a great time reading it. There was a little bit of just creepiness to it at moments. Just some things that will get under your skin, you know, especially if you're somebody like myself who has specific fears for certain things. I like what was really done here. It has a lot going for it, and I really recommend it alone on that. There's not really a whole lot to be said. The book is good. I recommend it, and I think that if you like Goosebumps, you'll love this for the most part. I typically think, like I said, that a lot of these Ghost of Fear Street books kind of come across like a little bit of a knockoff type of Goosebumps thing. They should have just been Goosebumps stories themselves. That may still be the case here, but this was good. I actually really enjoyed this. It kind of solidified the fact that maybe these Ghost of Fear Street books aren't that all bad. Maybe they'll be a little bit better instead of feeling like more of a knockoff type thing. It's kind of the same feeling I have towards the Shivers books. I've never read those, but I've heard the same thing with those, since they are typically Goosebumps ripoffs, from what I understand. Same thing with Gooflumps. Yeah, Gooflumps is... I keep biting my lip. Gooflumps is another knockoff, ripoff thing from Goosebumps too, from back in the 90s. I hear a lot of things about that too being kind of bad, from what I've heard from certain people. But anyway, when it comes to Halloween Bugs Me, I dig this. I think it's pretty solid. I definitely recommend it. I'm glad I got to end the October season, the beginning of November season, whatever, with a really good book. Just a really good, decent one that I could totally see myself reading every Halloween from now on. What are your thoughts on Halloween Bugs Me? If you have read it, put your thoughts in comments down in the comment section down below, folks. I would love to hear what you have to say about it. If I had to rate Halloween Bugs Me on a 5-star basis, I would probably give this a really high 4 out of 5. It was really good. Really, really good. I actually really enjoy a lot of the stuff about this, including that awesome cover with the creepy jack-o'-lantern and the cockroaches. That's a really solid book. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Put them down below, guys. Thank you for watching. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today, and goodbye.